Okay guys and girls, welcome back to FTRL. We are here for week number 5 of GT15 at the incredibly famous Laguna Seca circuit in good old sunny America. So it looks like we have a pit glitch, so wonderful way to start the evening. Unless SPY is going to get himself out of the pits, is he? Restart? No, so there we go. Lightning start to the evening, wonderfully done. Right. So we're at week number 5 of the season, if memory serves me correct. T Smith, surprise surprise, is your championship leader by 2 points to SPY in P2. So it's certainly heating up as we approach the halfway stage of the season. Obviously 11 weeks in our Gran Turismo Sport season. If anybody is listening to the stream, please do me a favour and just pop a message in there or something, just so that I know that my volume's good and everything's all set and ready to rock and roll. It's been a long time since I've done this, so a bit of a last minute thing, but cannot be helped, I am afraid. So rather than hearing an excited high pitched Scotsman, you've got a very nasal monotone Cockney. As we get ready for attempt number 2. Not had a pit glitch for a while. Maybe it's because I'm streaming and everything as well. Gore, you sound sexual. Thank you, Luke. It's very nice of you. Still better than Carl. Yeah, it's because I'm not vaping. So just to point out the glaringly obvious as well, as per usual, anything that does happen tonight, I will be severely taking the piss out of people. Because it's the only way that I can stay sane, because I would much rather be on that racetrack, but these things happen. So everybody in the cars ASAP. So let's have a quick nose at the old standings and whatnot. So T Smith leads the way on 172 points, SPY is in second on 170, and then there's a 25 point gap back to Pagani in P3 on 145. He's actually tied with Blue Flag on 145. Positive Ross having a good season as well, 137. So he's only 8 points behind Pagani and Simon. And then we've got Feber, 2 points behind Ross. Bread, he's actually doing really well in P7. There's a lot of close gaps in this championship. And bringing up the rear is FTRL, just Mikey H, who's not here for I think it's the 58th week running. I think what happened, I think he trod on a leaf and it didn't quite crack and crumble the way that he wanted it to. So I think he's had to have the night off for that. He's quite upset. So unfortunately, that's Mike done. He's got a sick note for another 3 weeks. So, but it's alright, because what we'll do is we'll say the word clubs in a minute, and then what will happen is Mike will suddenly appear. I think he's supposed to be at a wedding this evening, but if someone says the word pro clubs to him, then he'll probably drop the wedding and come home. But right, so we'll just wait for Pete to get in his car. And then we will try this again. Where is Pete? Here he is. Cool. Lastcom's favourite Just Eat order. That's a difficult question. We've got a place up here called LA Pizza. A bit of everything, and they're solid. It's a solid place. Doesn't always agree with my stomach, but then again, what does? So no, I don't mind a Just Eat. Keep the hashtag AskComs coming in, because unlike most, I'm going to be incredibly sarcastic and probably a bit shit on the commentary tonight. So we'll have a good time. We will have a good time. Right, attempt number 2. Let's see if SPY can get out the pits this time, or is he just going to keep spinning? I think we're all good. Junkie Sport leads us out with his Viagra car. Lennon with his absolutely shit livery, let's be honest. Okay, so 5 minutes of qualifying. So that will probably give you what, 3 laps around here. It's not the longest of laps. We'll go on board with Lennon, who's actually come into some form of form. He won the Bathurst race last week. Did he actually? Yeah, he did. Yeah, Lennon won Bathurst last week, the Group 3 race. So he's in pretty good form. But this track does have gravel, which, well, and some form of complication to it. So Lennon, I imagine, will spin. Famous incident actually. Last time we raced around here, Lennon decided to punt me at this incredibly famous corner here, the corkscrew, after I'd been hit by everybody else. And coming down to the bottom of this hill where Lennon is about to take a right turn in a second, I cut the corner and T-boned him out of complete rage. So, and I still have no regrets over it. But what we'll do is we'll go on board with T Smith. He leads us down the start-finish straight to begin the first flying lap. Now you do have a little left kink here, which is technically classed as the first corner, but then the proper first corner is the Andretti hairpin, which we're approaching now. It goes on for a bit longer than you think, this corner, so you have to get your apexes right, which T Smith does. Surprise, surprise, in towards turn 3, the first of a couple of consecutive right-handers. Don't want to touch that sausage curve because otherwise you'll bounce over into the gravel. And then very much the same on this corner here. Tom does it very well, quite conservative from Tom, doesn't carry too much speed through. Junkie Sport's just up ahead as we approach turn 5, the uphill left-hander, which is important to get a good run out of here because otherwise you lose all momentum coming up the hill. In towards turn 6, which is quite a tricky fast left kink. Get that wrong and you're off. Straight into that wall, lost a lot of time. Down the Rahal straight in towards the famous corkscrew. On a brake just on that 3 metre board on the right hand side. Take as much of the curb on the inside of entry and exit as possible. Then to the outside of the rainy curve. A little bit too much gravel from T Smith there. In towards turn 10. Full power out in towards the final corner. The 11th of 11 corners. Again, a little bit conservative from T Smith. Maybe it's just the way that it looks from spectator point of view, but from a champion, that was fucking abysmal. No, it was a good lap. Good lap from T Smith, as always, as you would always expect. There's SBY. It's the 10th behind. Pagani slots up in between. Lico in P4 on his wheel. That won't last long. Yeah, to be fair, everyone's going to be getting a good slipstream actually. Fever jumps up into 4th, so the grid's starting to take some shape. Ron with a disappointing season so far by his standards, I'd say. Then again, he has missed, I'm pretty sure he missed a week or 2. But bred with a very impressive 139. I don't think he's going to challenge for pole with that, but certainly a good effort. Please all like the stream if you may do so. If you want to, don't have to. Dislike it if you want, don't care. But no, all jokes aside, liking the stream would be very, very helpful. As you all know, it won't take you 2 seconds to do. So stay on board with Rom. They will get another flying lap in, most of them. Don't know whether they all will actually. They might have spread out a little bit and committed to just a good solid second lap, but Rom certainly will. Takes turn 10's a bit too wide from Rom. In towards the final corner. You can brake later than you think here. There's Lennon nearly T-boned in behind. Oh, SPY's decided to spin at the corkscrew, and I've lost who I was with. It was Rom, and he hasn't improved, has he not? Blue flag up into P9. Having a good season so far, joint with Pagani in 3rd of the championship. Oh, Oxox in the stream. Good evening, my friend. That's when we'll stop making stupid DNFs and win his second title in F1. Hopefully soon. You absolute OG. Thank you for stopping by, Ox, mate. Really appreciate it. It's very rare that you'll hear me on commentary. Normally I'm out here on the old racetrack, but yeah, needs must. So thank you for stopping by, much appreciated, my friend. Oh, Nobby Norris is just, yeah, he's fucked it. T Smith's done the same. There goes Finky, the lightning quick. Oh, we might get a penalty for that, cut in the corner a little bit. Interesting fact about Finky, penis like an absolute tripod. He knows what I mean. Anybody that went to Brands Hatch, everybody knows. Basically with Finky, if everyone wants to give his legs a little break, he just leans forward a little bit. You know, use that to your own imagination. T Smith trying to give him a bit of slipstream there. Finky approaches the line. Stays in 14th, unlucky. Unsafe release in the stream chat. Cheers Aaron, lovely to hear your voice. Gutted I can't race. Yeah, really sad to not see you out there, mate. Weird network issues, running out of ideas. Ah, sorry to hear that, mate. Really sorry to hear that. But thank you for tuning in. Hopefully you'll stay with us for the race. So it's Fever who takes pole. I didn't really stay with that too much. I do apologise, stream. I got excited talking about Finky's penis. Fever on pole, T Smith alongside him in second, Pagani in third, SBY fourth, so some form of regular shape there. Ross in fifth, Lee Cole in sixth, Lennon seventh, Blue Flag 8th, Rom down in 9th, Bread in 10th, Junkie Sport Pete, Nobby Norris and Finky are your starting grid. Awful camera angles, we're just going to stay with Fever. As we're lights out, away we go. Fever doesn't seem to get the best start there. Actually, he's got away better than I thought. He looked like he'd sort of bogged down a little bit off the start, but T Smith under pressure from Pagani. SBY sends it into the corner. Pagani's going to try and hold it around the outside of T Smith and get the inside for the next corner. Fever's run wide, T Smith's into the lead. Pagani alongside Fever trying to push him through, back up into the race lead. Pagani dips a wheel onto the gravel. There's somebody off there, that's Finky, playing in the sand. But it's Fever and T Smith side by side, heading down towards turn 5. T Smith will have the inside line. Can Fever hold it? Around the outside. T Smith gives him the space but closes it off well. Good experience driving. You've got Blue Flag and Pagani running side by side up towards turn 6. This probably won't go too well. Going to be contact, and there is contact. Pagani's off in the wall. And that's going to be an unhappy Pagani. Blue Flag has carried on. Might be letting off to wait for him here. That was never going to end well, going side by side through there. Difficult corner to do that on, so Pagani's got it all to do. His championship rival getting his elbows out. But T Smith half a second gap back to Fever with SBY close. Lee Cole doing really well up in P4, nice to see. Obviously on his wheel this season, so it'd be good to see him get a good result. As they cross the line to start lap number 2. Rom's had a good start up to P5. My controller, as you can see, I need a new one. If it randomly starts skipping through stuff, then just ignore it, don't worry about it. Ross up the inside of Lennon in towards turn 2. Lennon dips a wheel, Ross goes through. Pete's going to attack as well. He's going to send it down inside. Lennon manages to hold it, but he's going to run wide. Pete's going to have a good run. Lennon's in the gravel. Even Junkie Sport's attacking him now. That's when you know you're having a bad day. And Junkie Sport goes through. Good move. Yeah, Blue Flag still down in P11, so he's not just hampered Pagani's race there. Looks like it hampered his own. But Nobby Norris right behind him, and Pagani right on the back of Finky now. Going to look to get past ASAP. I think he holds his nerve. Can Pagani go for a little send? Is he going to be able to get that done? Oh, he does. Committed, but he makes it stick. Nicely done from Pagani. T Smith with a 1 second gap. He does dip a wheel. He's going to lose a little bit of time there. Not ideal. That's Rom and Ross going side by side in the background as SPY putting Fever under all sorts of pressure. Is the volume of the racing and me all okay? Is everything all good? I've not done a stream for such a long time and hosted it, so I just need to make sure it's alright. SPY going for a audacious move around the outside. Either that or he's picking up a McDonald's drive-through along the way. or maybe a Twix. If anybody knows the story, when we was at Brands Hatch last weekend, SBY decided to tell us how the famous chocolate Twix, other chocolates are available, is the best of both worlds apparently, and for no reason, no justified reason. So Twix, the best of both worlds. There we go. The new FTRL catchphrase. But the top four have pulled out a 4-second gap back to Ross, who has got past Rom, and Rom is now under pressure from Pete as they're going to go side by side. A little bit of contact. Pete's going to go through, Junkie Sports through. Rom is deeply into the gravel, and Pete, I think, has recognised his mistake and allowed Rom to go back through. So, unfortunate incident, but fair play to Pete as always. For any form of mistake, he will always be the first person to wait and show that good sportsmanship. Thank you for letting us know there, boys. Blue flag has left the room. Rage quit. Haven't seen one of them for a while from him. Could do comms if you want, Si. Okay, well, Phoebe's staying within touching distance of T. Smith. He's pulled a gap back to SBY. I don't think he's recovered too well, but with SBY sometimes he can try a little bit too hard if he's got somebody to chase and end up costing himself a little bit of time. Doesn't happen too much, but on the odd occasion. But nice to see Lee driving very, very well at the moment. Ross has pulled a gap to Junkie Sport, who's driving well in 6th. Lennon 7th, Bread down in 8th. Under pressure now from Pagani, who's managed to get back up from last, so he is clawing back position slowly but surely. This is when Pagani's at his most dangerous, when something's happened and he's got to fight his way back through the field, because he will do it. And Nobby going well on P10. Just trying to follow Pagani's lines. That's all I do at this point. Just try and follow the more experienced driver ahead and do what you can do. It's going to be under pressure from Rom very, very soon. I think he also going well. And SPY has caught right back up to FIBA. Oh, but he's really going for it. You can see by the penalties he's picked up, and also by the way he was wiggling out the corner. Oh, he's a little bit deep into the final corner. He's going to compromise his run. Ross has lost nearly half a second to the top four, so unless anything drastic happens, Ross might have to just settle for where he is, but I'm sure he'll probably take that. Quite a fan of that livery as well, actually, I must say. As Pagani goes down the inside of Bread into turn 2. Lennon's going to get him as well. Opportunistic move, but gets it done. So Pagani up to P7, 1.7 seconds to Junkie Sport ahead. Lennon's going to follow him through, and Bread needs to stay with the crowd. Not do that too much. Nobby Norris is being hassled by our Belgian friend. And Pete has got past Finky in the background. Up towards the front runners. SPY is off, and he's proper off, if that's a thing. And Junkie Sports tried to T-bone him. Wasn't a fan of SPY being out there, and he sort of said, right, you're having it. But unfortunately he's ghosted. I thought they got on well at Brands. I didn't realise Carl felt that way about him, but you know, can't be helped. So that's relieved some pressure. Lee Cole up to P3. Just needs to keep it on the track now and try and get back within DRS range. Christ, should be saying that. Slipstream range, so he needs to pull about 7/10 and get himself in contention here. But T Smith controlling the pace. FIBA driving excellently behind him. You can tell he's been really working on it this week. I do like that livery. Oh, internet. Oh, okay. I thought it might have been a rage quit from Mr. Flag de Bleu. Keep the comments coming in, people. I will discuss. Ross has pulled a few tenths back on Lee, so Lee needs to just be careful. Keep it on track, he should be okay, but Ross driving very, very well. Pagani up to P5. So he's not lost out as much as he would like. Well, so you wouldn't like to lose out at all, really, but you get my point. I'm rusty. He's at most, he's probably going to lose maybe 3, maybe 4 points if he reckons he could have beaten Tom. But that's on the assumption he doesn't close up and pass Ross in the next 6 minutes. But doing things like that will not help. Lennon in P6, still driving really well. Bread with Carl right behind him, Junkie Sport, after his little venture off into the gravel. Ron down in 9th, really struggling. SPY down in 12th place. And he's got a little train of cars to get past, one of which is his teammate, so I can't imagine he'll make that too tough. Finky still trying to stay with the crowd, doing much better. Lots of improvement from Finky. And Fever applying the pressure. Very solid performance from Fever. Now T Smith is not normally able to be caught when it comes to Group 3 racing a lot of the time, but Group 4, as much as he's one of the quickest, he will openly admit that it's not always his he doesn't always feel as comfortable as he does in Group 3s. Like, there is certain vulnerabilities in there, so Fever has every chance in this race. He's going to be within, get a good run at the final corner here, which he does. He does very much so. He's only got 3/10. He could be in the race lead here by the first corner. T Smith's going to cover the inside. Fever to the outside. Is he going to hold it around the outside? Is he going to try a little cut back on T Smith? T Smith does go quite deep, but he does just about catch the apex. Fever still applying the pressure. Lee Cole just watching from a distance. He has pulled a gap on Ross. So the field's starting to spread with regards to the front view, but there is a bit of a train forming behind Lennon, I think, in P6. We'll go to that in a second, just see how Fever manages the rest of the lap. Just a few tenths behind. Hits that curve perfectly. And Lee has had a monster of a lap. Pulled up half a second on him here. T Smith has missed the first apex of the corkscrew. He's coming under pressure. Either that or he just shouted at his dog unnecessarily again. Go on, Fever, send it. Great driving from Fever this. He's had another really good run. He should definitely be ahead by the first corner this time round, and he's only got, well, it will be 3 laps, won't it? T Smith just about has enough speed. He's going to cover the lines again. It's going to be a carbon copy of the lap before. We're going to head down towards the field. There's a 4-car battle here. Junkie Sport's got a good run on Bread. Is he going to send it? Hopefully not, because that could cause problems. Ooh. That's clean enough. And Rom's trying to get in there as well. Rom really can't afford to lose too many more points. But Lennon holds firm, still in P6. Pagani, he's going to have to settle for a P5 here. Junkie Sport has got a good run on Lennon and go for a cutback. Junkie Sport trying to get in the slipstream, just decides to go in the gravel. Driving well, found some pace here as Carl. SPY and Bread going side by side into the corkscrew. Yeah, SPY and Bread just about come through clean. Nobby Norris 11th, Pete down in 12th, and Finky down in 13th. Has dropped off a little bit, maybe a couple of mistakes crept in. Blue flag's joined back. Yeah, Finky's last lap's 5 seconds slower, so he's had a wiggle somewhere. But heading into the penultimate lap now. T Smith still leads the way from Fever, as they were. Lee Cole still watches from a distance, but but for a monster lap from Lee, I don't think it's going to be enough. So I would say it's T Smith versus Fever for the race win. T Smith is the fastest first sector of the race, so knows when to apply. Fever's still there in second, Ross in P4, driven very, very well. Nice solid race from Ross. Pagani in fifth. Lennon still has that gap over Carl in P6. Rom has got past. Oh, sorry, he was ahead of SPY, wasn't he? And Bread's fallen back off the back of SPY. Nobby Norris is actually closing with Peatman as well, but Pete just picked up a half-second penalty. But it's now or never for Fever. He needs to have a good run at that final corner and really give this a go, because he's not going to have much of an opportunity around the rest of the lap. T Smith doesn't have the best run again at that final corner. It didn't look that way anyway, but hasn't lost as much time as I thought he would. So Fever's going to have to try something special here in towards the first corner. I don't think he will. We know Fever, we know him very, very well. He's not going to do anything to compromise another driver, which is always to be heavily respected for the sake of 1 point. So don't forget that race number 2 coming up will be a reverse grid of this race. So T Smith starting from the back of the grid at Laguna is never going to be easy. But all could change. Lee Cole driven excellently here. He's just been within touching distance the whole race. He'll be very pleased with that. But T Smith's going to lead them in towards the corkscrew. If he just nails this, you'd expect it to be race number, what, 4,000? That he's won in FTRL. Fever's had a really good run. Clearly testing. Fever has run a little bit wide. He's lost his momentum there a little bit. T Smith runs wide. Fever going to try it around the outside, is he? Fever around the outside of the final corner. Oh my god. This could actually happen. It's going to be a photo finish. Fever to the line. And it's... oh, job done. Fever picks up the win. What a move. What a move. T Smith would not have expected that at all. Fair play to T Smith for giving him the space there as well. And Lee finishes just under a second away. So a brilliant drive from him. But Fever takes the race win. T Smith in P2. Fever's done that absolutely perfectly. One of the best moves of the season. Congratulations, Fever. Delighted for you. Lee finishes in P3. Ross down in P4. Pagani P5. Not a bad recovery there. Junkie Sport P6. So he has recovered. Something happened to Lennon. He dropped down to P9. It might have been a penalty that got him. But Robin P7. SPY down in P8. He will not be happy with that. 6 points lost to T Smith. Lennon in 9th. Nobby in 10th. Peatman in 11th. And I think that was... is that Nobby in P12? No. Let's have a look. No, it's Bread in P12, sorry, and then Finky in 13th, and then Blue Flag will be starting on pole, which all makes sense to me now as to why he quit that one. We'll get a nice screenshot of this. And then we'll edit the event settings. Yeah, amazing drive from Fever there, lovely to see. He's in the chat now. Got to be chuffed with that one, Fever, well done. Yeah, T Smith will always give you the space as long as you give it to him. So, yeah, Fever, brilliant move, my friend. One of the best moves I've seen for a long time. It's a difficult corner in a difficult car. And, yeah, so well done, my friend. Right, we are another 15-minute race now. Midday reverse grid from race 1. In the McGanns again before we head off into the longer Group 3 race. So just a little couple of minute buffer now before we do that all over again. So let's all catch our breath a little bit. Put our 2-minute warning. Well, near on a perfect result for T Smith there, all things considered, with Pagani dropping some points and SPY dropping even more. So, yeah, Goy Carp in a chat saying, Tom Smith, what a bottle job. Couldn't agree more. I'm pleased he lost. Pleased he lost. But yeah, put your predictions in for race number 2. So the grid will be reversed from race 1. So it will be Blue Flag on pole, Finky 2nd, Bread 3rd, Peterman 4th, Nobby Norris in 5th, Lennon 6th, SPY 7th, Rom 8th, Junkie Sport 9th, Pagani 10th, Ross 11th, Lee Holding 12th, some weird Brummy Knob in 13th, and Feber in 14th. What's my favourite car and track combo in GT Sport? Oh, that is difficult. If you asked me in the old days, I would have said the Group 3 Mazda Atenza, but because that car used to be amazing. I think my favourite track is Maggiore GP. I love that track. I could drive it all day. I really like the Hyundai I drove last season as well, so I'd probably start... Oh, rolling start. Good shout. Yeah, I'd probably say the Hyundai Group 4 or Group 4. The Mazda Atenza I just have a love for in Group 3. As much as it's crap now, I used to love that car. And Maggiore GP's got to be my favourite circuit. To be fair, I like a lot of the ones on this game. But, yeah. What's your favourite eyeball, left or right? Well, probably my right eyeball, because I have trouble with my left one sometimes. I trapped a nerve in my temple a few years ago, and ever since then my left eye's always been it's a little bit more sensitive than my right eye, so definitely my right eyeball. That's a solid choice. But right, have a good race, and I'm going to put almost to T Smith. Let's go. Race number 2, we're underway, so rolling start. So those that finish at the front of race 1 are going to be hampered even more. What's your OnlyFans? I'll share it with you afterwards. So T Smith and Feber are starting miles back. Put it into perspective, Feber's starting here and he's got to come through all of these last couple of corners. To get down to Blue Flags and lead us for race number 2. 3, 2, 1. And it's lights out. Bit of a rev from Blue Flag there. How far back is Feber? Feber's only just coming around the final corner, so those guys are going to be severely hampered. Lee's dropped. Interesting from Lee. Not sure what's going on with Lee, but we'll go back to the action anyway. Not going to see too much bunching at this point. I think he's already under pressure from Bread, who's in quite a good position here. He's normally pretty good in the second race, he's Bread. So if he can clear Finky relatively quickly, which is definitely the closest battle on track at the moment, he can mount his challenge on blue flag. And Peterman is close as well, so Fred's had a good run. Finky's had a bit of a wiggle. If he can get the move done, it needs to be soon. Fred's going to try the inside. Nice job from Finky, holds him off. Finky's ghosted. Oh, he's been swallowed up a little bit as Pete and Brett go past. And now it's all eyes on the race leader. So we've got Lennon, who's picked up a penalty. He's under pressure from SPY. He's had a good start. Down the inside in towards turn 1. It should be relatively routine. SPY has sent it a little bit though. It still gets the job done. Lennon concedes. And Rom is close to the pack. Oh, there's a bit of carnage with Pagani. I don't know if he's had contact there or whether he's just hit a bit of a sausage curb and had a bit of a wiggle. But Ross has gone through, so Pagani's night's gone from bad to worse. T. Smith and Feber, no positions gained as of yet, but blue flag leads away with a 2.5 second gap. You'd like to put him as a heavy favourite for this one, to be honest. He's experienced enough to be able to lead and win a race from that position. But Brett and Pete have made a break from Finky, who's got 1.2 seconds back to SPY. So as much as SPY got Lennon fairly quickly in this race, he's 6.5 seconds off the race lead at this point. So got it all to do. I'm sure we're going to see a few gravel-based incidents. Oh, Lee's brake pedal stuck on again. It's a shame. There's not a chance you can go back to your pad or something, mate. I know you don't want to, but for the sake of the race. Sorry to hear that, buddy. Could always come and jump in comms. Pagani is he's in a little sandwich he doesn't want to be involved in here. Oh, T. Smith has let Junkie Sport, or Junkie Sport should I say, has let T. Smith go through. And now all eyes on this little battle here. This is quite a significant battle at this point because Nobby Norris is Pagani's teammate. Ross is just here. We've got a little 4-car battle ahead as well. We've got Rom, Lennon, SPY still can't get past Finky, and Brett's had a bit of a moment at the top. So Peter's gone through. And the gap now 3.6 seconds to blue flag in the race lead. And all eyes on this big group behind. So Finky's going to hold that to SPY. I think a little bit of contact, but clean enough. SPY goes through. Is Lennon going to follow him? Bit of a send on Paul Finky. He's been swallowed up. Keep going, Finky, you tripod. And Rom's there as well, but Nobby Norris is still leading this little pack behind. These front runners are struggling to catch up. That was the idea of this season, though. Give more people an opportunity to win. So that's Pagani off in the background again. And T. Smith now, is he going to go through? Pagani just about manages to hold on, but T. Smith with a little bit of a cutback. They're going to go side by side. And T. Smith up the inside gets the job done. Pagani won't like that. Number 10 on Rom's door plate is mirrored. I forgot, he's terrible with that. He did it with a Heineken sticker a couple of seasons ago, which was even more infuriating. It's a crucial overtake for T. Smith though. Doesn't want to let Pagani gain any points on him at all, so he can continue his push for another championship. I think he's had 5 of them. maybe 6. It's definitely had 5. The battle for the race lead, well, there isn't one. Blue flag fakes an internet problem so he can lead race 2. 4.2 seconds clear of Peatman, driving really well in P2. Red's recovered well, pulled out a bit of a gap to SPY's out of slipstream range. Rom down in P5 with Lennon in 6. I think he's still holding his nerve pretty well, considering the cars he's got behind him. And Ross trying to go around the outside of Nobby, which he can't do. T Smith's going to try his luck and go around the outside of T Smith as Pagani gives Ross a punt through and gives Tom a little tap as well. And Pagani's going to give Ross a little nudge back on the track again, so there is little bits of contact happening between these so-called good drivers. There's a lot of cars in one place at the moment as Pagani goes around the outside of Ross at turn 5 up towards the fast kink of turn 6, and Finky has tapped Nobby Norris, and Pagani's going to capitalise on that. And he's going to run through. Is Ross going to follow down the inside of Finky into the corkscrew? He is indeed. And Pagani's run deep into the gravel again. And he's trying to block off T Smith. There's some elbows going out here a little bit. It's a little bit of retaliation. And Nobby Norris is in the gravel just for the banter. And that party's getting tense. It's all kicking off. 7.5 minutes to go. We are halfway through race number 2. Fieber going for a move on Pagani, who's dropping even further back. Junkie Sport's gone for the send, and Pagani, just like that, has been demoted down to P12. So Ross has profited the most from everybody there. P7, T Smith up into P8. I think he's still there in P9. Doing a really good job is Finky. And Pagani going to go back past Nobby Norris. I don't think Nobby will make that too difficult for Pagani. The blue flag 4.8 seconds back to Pete, but Pete's driving really well. SPY up into 3rd with Rom, just under a second away, so continuing their surge back through the field. SPY is really important for him to gain some points back on T Smith, to reduce the effect and the impact of what he lost in race 1. Again, those that are watching, please give the stream a really quick like. It'll take you literally a second to do. Much appreciated. And there's still a big cluster at the back of this group here. There's still 5 cars involved. Junkie Sport at the tip, Fieber in 10th, Nobby Norris in 11th, Finky in 12th, and Pagani all the way down in last. It's just not his night. Typically pretty handy around Laguna, but Finky going for a little cutback move on Nobby Norris, almost brilliant. Unlucky from him there. Fieber trying to get past Junkie Sport. T Smith is getting away. 3.6 seconds is the gap. He's now following Ross, who's got a 5-second gap to Bread. So, as much as these guys are quick, I'll be intrigued to see whether they can make up that much ground in that little time. So, Lennon again, good showing. He did drop off at the end of race 1, which was a shame, but he's been driving well so far tonight. In Group 3, he's been where he's been shining. So, as I say that, and he takes an awful line through the corkscrew. SPY is closing up on the back of Pete. Now these two are in a team, probably in a party as well. So, and Pete will know how important that point could be to SPY, but hopefully he'll ride it out, try and make his teammate work for it. But blue flag is the man to beat in this race. I'd say, 3 laps to go. Let's go back to the closer battles. Ross still holding off T Smith, who has caught up a little bit, but Junkie Sport and Fieber side by side into turn 1. Junkie Sport won't make this easy for Fieber. Oh, Feber's, it's hard to do that move around the outside of turn 1 because it tightens up so much, but Feber's had a really good run down the inside. Junkie Sport turns across him a little bit, but Feber gets the job done. Oh, Nobby Norris has run deep. Pagani's going to go through to the 3 blue and yellow Renault Megane livery cars are all over the back of Junkie Sport, and think he's still holding on, clinging on for dear life. If he gets a boulder, he might be able to push one of the cars out of the way. T Smith mounting his challenge on Ross now. Now Ross absolutely hates T Smith, so he won't make this easy for him. There's no thought into Tom's car, is there? Look at all the other cars on track, and Tom's just... it's just shit, isn't it? I'm offended for the league, really. Ross has picked up a penalty because he was that disgusted with T Smith's car. T Smith with a send. Disgusting move from T Smith. I think there's going to be 3 laps to go, and SPY is on the back of Pete, and I don't think Pete is going to... yeah, he's not going to make it too difficult. SPY goes through. 6.4 seconds is the gap. As quick as SPY is, I can't see that happening. But on the charge, he shall go nonetheless. Red driving wearing P6. There's a lot of bunching, really, between those front few and then this little pack of cars here. There's a couple of them driving on their own. The Group 3 race will be quite intriguing though. Remember, they've got their pit window, which we'll go through very soon. As Pagani goes down the corkscrew, he needs to try and get past Phoebe. He doesn't want to lose too many points to T Smith here. He lost a couple in the first race. Junkie Sport, he's still there. I think there's a battle forming ahead here. As Rom is now closing up on the back of Peatman with 2 laps to go. Heading through turn 2 for the penultimate time. Good driver is Rom, but he's not had the best of seasons so far. Peatman doing his best to hold Ron behind and let his teammate run away. As he pulled anything, he's pulled about 3/10, but Blue Flag has a corkscrew and a lap to navigate essentially. Comfortable from start to finish for him. SPY has done well to come back through the crowd. He might get a penalty for that. He's on for the fastest lap at the moment. And Ron going for the move on Peatman into the final corner. Pete's going to hold it around the outside, and he might get a better exit than Rom there. Pete does retake P3, but Rom's going to have to run down towards turn 1. I imagine this is going to be an overtake for Rom. Yeah, that number 10 reversed is really quite annoying, isn't it? Rom does run a little bit deep, but manages to get the car back for the second apex. But nevertheless, Pete's still in P4, 3.5 seconds back to Lennon. So I'll be pretty pleased with that, Pete. T Smith in 7th, Pagani 8th. Ross has dropped right off and finished down in 12th. I'm not sure what happened to Ross there. But Pagani, can he do anything about Feber on the final lap of the race? Like I said, they are teammates, but that point's incredibly important to Pagani. Let's see what he can do. But Blue Flag, he's coming around the final couple of corners. It's been easy. He's let the foot off the gas a little bit this lap just to make sure he brings the car home. 5.5 seconds is the gap. SPY has fully sent it these last couple, and credit to him for that. But blue flag rounds the final corner, down the start finish straight, and he's going to take the checker flag for race win number 2, I believe, of this season for blue flag. I could be wrong, but it definitely wins the second race of the night tonight. SPY, very, very, very good drive from him. Rom Elson does manage to pit Peatman. Lennon comes home in 5th, good result. Bread home in P6, he looks pleased. T Smith in 7th, not too bad considering where he started. Fieber as well, he's going to finish in 8th, and Pagani, he's going to overtake Fieber on the line. I think Fieber's giving that to Pagani. Knows how important those points are. Nobby Norris in P10, just gets Junkie Sport on the line. In P11, Ross down in P12, Finky in P13, and Leeds just shit. There we go, blue flag. That's not something you see very often, so feel free to get your screenshots now. But no, nicely done, nicely done. I'm just going to add Lee Cole to the party, so we have I have some company for the final race of the evening. Uno momento, por favor. There we go, Lee has been added. Right, so race number 3 is upon us. Now this one is a longer race. I just want to confirm exactly what the time of day is going to be for it, which I could do on my PC, which is directly next to me. Announcements, scroll up. Yeah, T Smith still a dick, that's an announcement. Laguna 6 PM, so the latest time. It's going to be a 40-minute race. Rolling start's going to be set by host. So we're going to do reverse championship order. Tyre wear times 3. Medium tyre rolling start. And I believe this is everything. Okay, so we will give the oh, you're going to race on pad. Oh, excellent, cheers Lee, got my hopes up there. Wow, what a friend. My brakes moved again. That's because you pressed them for once. So for those that are watching, we've got do you know what, Lee, just go away. So we've got a 40-minute race. This is group 3 cars, so these ones are the beasts. Everybody has a different car depending on their finishing position of last year. So T Smith is in the slowest car, and then the guys who are typically slower are in the quicker cars. So trying to even out as much as possible. Be a rolling start as well, and we have a pit window, so the drivers must pit anywhere between when the timer hits 25 minutes and 15 minutes. They've got a 10-minute pit window, and they must do it inside there. So you've got tyre wear on, they're going to be on medium tyres, so not the easiest to navigate, not always the quickest tyre either. Just need Nobby Norris and Junkie Sport to get in their cars, please, so I can do the grid order. Sorry for the clicking, just need to bring up the championship table. Just Nobby Norris to get in his car. I'll say it again, just need Nobby Norris to get in his car. There he is, good lad. Right, championship order, let me just arrange this, sorry stream. No days off, so I think he's going to be starting on pole. Nobby Norris is going to be starting in second. This is reverse championship order. Peatman in P3. I need everybody to know that Mikey, FTRL underscore just Mikey H, would be starting on pole because he is last. He is last in the championship. Stone dead last. Like, he couldn't be more last if he tried. But to be fair, it's probably because he never turns up. But right, Lennon in P5. Lee Cole's in a good position in this race. Actually, I want him to crash after he got my hopes up. So Rom there. It's going to be old Bready boy after Rom. Feeber Bieber. Oh, Junkie Sport needs to go to the top actually. So Feeber, Ross, Blue Flag, Pagani, SBY, and someone else. So let me just double confirm that. So Finky, Nobby, Peatman, Lee, Lennon, Rom, Bread, Feeber, Ross, Blue Flag, Pagani, SBY, and someone else. Right. 1 minute's warning. Nice distant sunset in the desert of the WeatherTech Raceway, Laguna Seca, world famous circuit. So as soon as that clock hits 9:01, we shall get underway for our 40-minute race. So, signed, sealed, delivered. Let's go. Good luck to all those driving. So it's going to be Junkie Sport that leads us. Those cars do look cool with that sort of dusk lighting and the headlights on. Finky in the Porsche, Nobby Norris in the Porsche. Stop flashing at me, Carl, you weirdo. Going to be a fair old gap, but Junkie Sport's going to lead us for race number 3. Had to momentarily pause for a burp. Won't be doing that on stream. In towards turn 1, outbrakes himself quite a lot, Junkie Sport. He's going to catch out a few of the drivers considering the cars they've just been driving. Lee's had a good start. Pulled a bit of a gap on Lennon already, and he's on the back of Pete pretty quickly. So Lennon in 6th, Rom in 7th, Bread in 8th, Feeber in 9th coming through, followed by Ross, Blue Flag 11, Pagani 12th, SPY 13, 14th for T Smith. Half the lobby can't see Bread apparently. Gnarly dude. Junkie Sport is going to take us up the hill towards the corkscrew for the first time. Going to get his braking right. It'll catch out a lot of people. It's difficult going from the Group 4 cars to the Group 3s because they are significantly quicker. Junkie Sport navigates the world. He's got a 2-second gap back to Nobby Norris. He was under pressure from Peatman early on. Hits the sausage curve a little bit, but manages to get through. Peatman around the outside of Nobby Norris into the final corner. Nobby Norris is extremely respectful there. Fair play to him. Gets the job done. Lennon's had a massive wiggle. And Lee Cole pulls away in P5. We have Rom heading down towards turn 1. Is he going to try and push his way through? No, he's not. Rom's going to go for the move around the outside. The brake discs are glowing. It looks so nice. Any drama happened further back? Pagani's got a Nice buffer to SPY. He's under pressure from T Smith early. I think he's one of the best of starts. It's a difficult circuit, to be fair, Laguna Seca. It is difficult, especially for those that are quite new to the game. So the more laps you do, the more experience you'll get, and good on you for doing so. So a little battle going on for P2. Sorry, for P3. Lennon's putting Nobby Norris under some more pressure. Lennon going to go around the outside of Nobby Norris. Not too much contact. Lennon goes onto the gravel. That's not going to help. To be fair, Nobby didn't do much wrong there. And that's Rom sending it into the gravel in the background. And Fever rocking the old school Norton livery on his Hyundai. Speaking of Hyundais, that's Ross getting himself in a bit of a tangle in the background with a what a car. Beautiful car. But blue flag and bread. I'll pass Ross now, so blue flag's going to get his elbows out once again. Oh, they can't actually see bread, can they? That's just awkward on my eyes. Garney's sporting a 2/10 penalty, and T Smith has got past SPY as well. T Smith is looking racy, to say the very, very least. Some of these cars, some of these liveries are absolutely fantastic. The boys do a great job on that, other than Lennon. Which, I mean, to be fair, the Kit Kat livery's alright. His plain white car is just, yeah, it's offensive. This is coming from someone who doesn't care about liveries. Ooh, Lennon gave Rom a little tap, I think, and Phoebe was able to get through. Ross with it all to do. T Smith putting Pagani under some real pressure now. Pagani will not want to let him past early. He really, really won't. Ross runs deep at turn 1. He gets a good run out. Doesn't want to let Pagani or T Smith pass at this point, because otherwise he's going to be playing catch up for the rest of the race. He doesn't want to be doing that 5 minutes in, sorry. Junkie Sport 2.8 seconds, Peatman with 3.2 seconds to Lee, so they've got a nice little gap in front. They're in a very good position. Lee Cole doing a good job of holding up the entire field. And doing a good job of going in the gravel as well. Comes back on. Oh, he's going to try and tuck himself back in there, but he's going to put people under severe pressure. Oh, Ron with a massive send. Punts into Feber. It's Nobby. Our Belgian friend doing Belgian things. Oh, Lee's gone. Oh, he's managed to save it somehow. You can tell he's rusty. And next up for Lico, he's got Pagani just behind. And there's Bread having another wiggle out that final corner. Pagani goes to the outside of Lee, in down towards turn 1. I think this can do well to get past Lee in that straight line speed in that Lexus. Lee covers him off, and with a bit of a send, Pagani's there as well, can't get himself past. Lee's all over the place, he seems rattled. Just got to bide their time behind, but it will be holding them up at this point. Pagani with the send down the inside of turn 5. I think he's managed to hold it off. Lee still ahead just. They're going to go side by side into the left kink. Oh, Lee manages to hold on. Pagani's going to try and follow him around. T Smith's having a look. SPY's having a look up the inside of T Smith in towards the corkscrew. Nice respectful driving. T Smith goes onto the gravel. Didn't need to do that. SPY's now going to go through. Lost himself a position there, trying too hard to defend it. T Smith didn't look like contact. I could be wrong. And Pagani needs to get this move done because SPY is going to put him under all sorts of pressure. Oh, SPY shut the door on T Smith a little bit. Has Pagani got an opportunity? And he's going to cover it off very well. He's a very stubborn, stern defender. He's Mr. Lee Cole. That's allowing the cars ahead to just pull away even more. Junkie Sport 2.8 seconds, Peatman 3 seconds. Got some good gaps here. And Feber in a very good position. Feber is extremely good in Group 3 cars typically. He's going to get past Lennon. Has he got the run? Down towards the corkscrew. Feber's going to be later on the brakes. Oh, compromises run a little bit. Lennon's got the move back. Good job from Lennon. He was confident in his line. Pagani still hasn't found a way past Lee. SPY is a couple more tenths back than what he was previous. He's closed that back up again, gives Pagani a little nudge, lets him know he's there. And Pagani has had a good run, and he's passed. Lee's going to probably have the inside line as Pagani covers him off, which he does. Pagani up to P8. SPY is going to go around the outside of Lee. Lee might give this position up to his teammate here. I'm not too sure. Nevertheless, SPY is passed. I think Lee's going to have to now do some defending from T Smith, who gets a nice little cut back on him. It's going to be a good run. T Smith down the inside, gives Lee the space. Lee just dips a wheel, and that should just be enough for T Smith to get through, which it is. So he's gone from being stern defending to losing 3 positions in quick succession, with a Ross behind him as well. So 10 minutes in, quarter of the race done. Pit window opens in 5 minutes. And we're just going to try and stay with the closest battles on track. And at the moment, especially with how spicy this little group is, it seems silly to not stay with it, as Rom's had a bad run down the corkscrew. Pagani's going to have a look around the outside of the penultimate corner. Just about has the room there, and Pagani doesn't need a second invitation. Goes up the inside. SPY is going to try it around the outside of Rom as well. Rom shuts that door, and T Smith has gone through as well. So T Smith down the inside of Rom in towards turn 1. He's through, so capitalised on some battling and some mistakes. And SPY is going to take a look. It's going to show the nose down the inside. They're going to go side by side. And towards turn 3, and SPY gets the job done. So all of these guys in a nice little train, but they've switched it around position wise. Ross still can't get past Lee at this point. There's a little bit of contact, but they're still going to run side by side. Good driving from these two. Can Ross hold it around the outside of turn 5? Oh, he's not going to be able to. Lee gets a good run. Ross goes for a cutback. This could be spicy. Yeah, Lee turns in a little bit too quick. Little bump on Ross. Is Lee going to send that back on Ross? Oh, he did. He shouldn't have, but he did. Junkie Sport round the final corner to end lap number 8. Still in the race lead, still with a good gap, although Peatman has lost time to Feber, to Lennon and to Blue Flag, who has slowly crept his way up towards these front runners. 5.4 seconds behind Junkie Sport for the race lead. Bread running a lonely P6 at the minute, and Pagani is going to lose a position to T Smith here. He's managed to find his way down the inside of turn 1. Is he going to answer straight back? No, thinks better of it. SPY is still there. I can't help but feel when these three are in a direct race, I'm just waiting for something to happen. And Rom just behind as well, certainly had fuel to that fire. Ross has got past Lee, as we saw. And Nobby Norris a couple of seconds back. Needs to do what he can. The pit windows are going to start opening the next couple of laps. It's a very good race driven so far, especially by Junkie Sport. I think he's been putting in an incredible amount of practice. And practice does pay off, which is why I'm at the back this season. Then under pressure from blue flag, but he's going to hold position. We're going to start seeing the position start to take shape over the next few laps when people start making their pit stops. Who's going to pull the plug early and go? T Smith leading this pack, but somebody's going to gamble and take an undercut. But they cannot go into that pit until the clock hits 25 minutes bang on. So they're going to have to go around one more time before they think about doing anything like that. And it's calmed down a little bit. As much as the guys are close, the action has calmed down just a tad. I think they recognise the position that they're in. So like SPY, Pagani and T Smith are all 9 to 9.5 seconds away from the race lead at the moment. So they know that if they squabble too much, the opportunity of a race win is going to slowly, well I say slowly, very quickly disappear. In football news, we've just had pretty much concrete confirmation that Eddie Howe is going to be the new Newcastle manager. So I'm very pleased about that. For those that follow football, and for those that are Newcastle fans, good news indeed. SPY having an optimistic look at Pagani at turn 1, just showing him that he's there, nothing too forceful. But T Smith is now out of slipstream range of Pagani. And these few are now squabbling, so they are with Peatman. We've got a 4-car train for P2, and we've got a 3-car train for P6. And then we've got Rom and Bread. These a little bit further back now. Under pressure from Ross, not enjoying the best of times here. The pit window is now open. So is anybody going to pull the plug early? In terms of tyre wear, Feber's got the best out of the top few. T Smith's is immaculate. Pagani's is pretty good. SPY's is pretty good. Lennon and Blue Flag have both pitted. So they felt confident on the car, and they feel like they can probably go for a longer stint. I mean, that's got to be a good 25-minute stint they've got to do. They've only done 15. Bread has followed them in. Junkie Sport, he's like a robot at the minute, driving around getting the job done. Feber now in clean air in Group 3 cars is not what Junkie Sport wants behind him, and our tyre wear is absolutely immaculate from Feber. It's a tight, twisty track, and he's not got barely any tyre wear at all compared to Peatman behind. It doesn't look like it, but it's quite a significant jump. His tyres will be quite a lot fresher. Approaching the halfway point, is Junkie Sport going to pop into the pits? The later he leaves it, the quicker he's going to be, but he's going to lose time to those trying to undercut him. He's going to carry on, he's got confidence in himself. Feber carries on, Peatman carries on. T Smith won't pit, he'll pit later on, as he always does. Pagani, is he going to head in? Doesn't look like it, neither is Rom, neither is SPY. So none of them want to take the plunge and go into the pits. getting spicy. Like one of them needs to do it soon. So they're going to keep losing time otherwise. Pagani sends it into the first corner, has a big wiggle. Rom's going to look to go through. They're going to go side by side in towards turn 3. Pagani's still going to have the better line for it, but it's unnecessary tyre wear and strain he's put on himself there. And unnecessary pressure. T-Smith is pulling away. If I'm one of the guys of this pack, I'm definitely thinking about pitting this lap. Nearly at the halfway point of the race, and you've seen how well the tyres are holding up, so SPY have a big wiggle. So Lennon has pitted. He's 25 seconds off the race lead as it stands, and that time is coming down and coming down. So Junkie Sport has been closed up significantly by Feber. And Feber is right on him, so Feber's in a brilliant position. He just needed that little bit of clean air, and he's right on him. So Pagani has taken the punt and he's gone into the pits, and he was the only one out of those to do so. So if Rom and SPY continue to battle, which it looks like Rom was just trying to push SPY around a little bit there, but Pagani you would think would benefit from quite a nice undercut, because like I said, with the tight and twisty track, he's going to have a lot more grip through those corners. T. Smith only 3 seconds off the race lead now. Peteman's still right there with him, doing a really good job is Pete. Get your head screwed on, Pagani. Half a race to go. Ross running in a lonely P7 as Nobby Norris goes up the inside of, I think that was, is that Finky trying to get out of the way? Yeah, Finky does a good job moving out of the way for the boys. Nicely done. T. Smith does go into the pits a little bit earlier than normal. He's gone in basically on the halfway point. You'd still put him as a strong contender for this. Rom has gone into the pits. SPY stayed out, Peteman stayed out, and Junkie Sport and Feber. Feber's less surprising, but Junkie Sport needs to really think about what he's going to do here. Leonard down to 24.8 seconds, which is to Feber. Feber looking like a strong contender at this point. He's only really lost about a second to those that pitted a couple of laps ago, so they've not really capitalised. Is that Rom coming out of the pits? Yeah, Pagani's got all things considered, he's got a fairly decent jump on him there. He's got 1.4 seconds. And Lennon in between, so Pagani is going to be very, very pleased with that. Just a few minutes to go on the... Oh, Lennon's letting Rom through as well, interesting. Just a few minutes to go left on the pit window, 19 minutes left of the race. As Feber and Peteman both pit as well. Junkie Sport's still going. SPY also still going. So the gap from Lennon, who was our... It's 33 seconds apparently. So maybe that was... Okay, Lennon's obviously had an issue somewhere, as we've seen. Blue flag, the gap's 20.4 seconds to Junkie Sport, so he's closed up a good few seconds. Feber coming out of the pits, is he going to manage to get out ahead? The blue flag, I think blue flag's going to have him. Quite a good undercut, but Feber's in a position now where he's on fresher tyres, he's better on his tyres, and he looks quicker. So Feber at this point, you would say, is possibly the favourite. T. Smith not too far behind, just got to navigate his way past Nobby Norris. But good to see the drivers, most of the drivers, on similar bits of road after over half a race. So T Smith makes light work of Nobby. He's off to mount his challenge. Junkie Sport, I mean, it's basically got to be this lap or next lap that he pits. And given by his tyre wear and how much time he's losing, it's not going to be this lap. So Junkie Sport leaving it very, very late. As much as it's possibly a good thing to do so, he's not done his best work. SPY weirdly put in the fastest lap of the race on lap 14. So demonstrating some pace. His old Sibby. Peatman goes past Finke on the final corner. And Pagani's got 1.3, 1.2 seconds to Pete. Aided by a little bit of slipstream there. So Pagani on the charge. The Pagani's gap to T Smith is significant. A good 6 seconds, I'd say. So T Smith benefiting the most. He's a bit of a machine in those Group 3 cars. FIBA has closed right up to the back of Blue Flag after that gap, but as we all know, Blue Flag is not the easiest person to get behind, and sometimes will protect his position at all costs. So, need to see how well he plays ball in this position. If I'm him at this point, if Junkie Sport does come into the pits, I'm recognising that FIBA is quicker. I'm going to try and just stay with him, because realising who's behind, don't lose too much time. FIBA has a big wiggle coming out of the final corner. T Smith doing T Smith things behind Junkie Sport. Is he coming out of the pits? Yes, he is, but he could get out ahead actually of this little pack of cars. Junkie Sport comes out of the pits and he's in P4, so he's got ahead of the pack. Protection from Pete behind. He's got a few seconds to the cars ahead. 6 seconds off the race lead. But FIBA still can't get past Blue Flag. The quicker he does this, the more likely he is to win this race. You do not want to be under pressure from T Smith towards the end of a race. Oh, T Smith has a wiggle and he's picked up a penalty as well, so he's lost a little bit of time. Junkie Sport going well since his stop. Peatman also going very well in P5. Now where is SPY? SPY's done in 9th. I wonder whether he's made a mistake somewhere, because his pit stop, would it have lost him that much time? Anyway, Lee Cole on the back of Brent. Not seen too much of these guys. We've been focusing more on what's been going out ahead. Ross not enjoying the best of nights, down in 12th. Nobby Norris some way back, and Finke unfortunately even further back. But FIBA has in fact taken the race lead, so Blue Flag has yielded somewhere, or FIBA's forced him into a mistake. FIBA can now run away and hope that Blue Flag is as stern to T Smith as he has been to FIBA. As soon as FIBA breaks that slipstream, he'll do so. But Blue Flag isn't bad at following cars, to be fair. 1.7 seconds the gap behind. Junkie Sport has lost about 8 tenths to FIBA. But the cars are starting to spread themselves out just a tad. So we're going to stay with Lee and Bread, because those guys are going side by side down the bottom of the corkscrew. And Bread goes down the inside of Lee. Lee goes a little bit wide. But gets the job done. There's Ross a bit further back. "12 minutes to go." Peatman under pressure from Pagani. Pagani needs to get this line right, which he almost does, but Pete's still going to have a better line here, and Rom's going to close right up on this as well. Pagani's on the gravel, Rom's going to go through. So Pagani's lost out. Whilst trying to make a move, Pagani's lost two. And if there's one person that Pagani doesn't want in front of him, is Rom. It was a difficult move. It's difficult to go around the outside of any corner, but ones at Laguna, you know, if you get it just a smidge wrong, it's very, very difficult to gain that back. But Rom's immediately putting Peatman under some pressure. Picked himself up a time penalty for good measure. Oh, he's gone for a look down the inside of Pete there. He's going to put Pagani back on him. Pete getting bumped and pushed along. And again, it's another big bump. There's T. Smith looking, he's closing up to the back of blue flag. Feber is now out of slipstream. And T. Smith 2.1 seconds away from Feber, the race leader, but a rather girthy blue flag in front of him. But just feast our eyes back on his battle for P5. Pete doesn't have the cleanest run. Rom's going to go through to the top of the corkscrew. Is Pagani going to also manage to get through at the same time? I think he is, you know. Yeah, gets the job done. Nicely done from Pete as well, allowing the space. So that's Rom through, Pagani through, and Pete unfortunately down to 7th. SPY not going as well as SPY normally does. 15.7 seconds off the race lead. So he's not made any time up either after his pit stop. And game on. So Ross under pressure from Bread. Unless he's just got past it, I'm not entirely sure. And T. Smith is all aboard the blue flag party. Now, if I know blue flag in this position, struggling to breathe, his palms are sweaty, his weak arms are heavy. There's an asthma pump in his hand already. But in fairness for T. Smith, he's in a position where his closest championship rivals are in 6th and 8th. Blue flag is also amongst that group. But just if he can just take his time, he's not going to lose points to anybody. This evening he's only going to be making gains. Oh, who's that? And Junkie Sport has well and truly fucked it. Bottom of the corkscrew. It's a monumental bin from Junkie Sport. It's a shame. He was driving really, really well. But that corkscrew can be a bugger sometimes. And Junkie Sport has well and truly been buggered. Unfortunate to see. Let's hope he can get back and make a few places up. T. Smith and Blue Flag still going at it. Now they've lost quite a lot of time. T. Smith's getting very impatient, you can see. And like I've said before, Blue Flag in this position, he's more interested in defending what's behind him. But he's made that incredibly easy on T. Smith, which is very surprising. Unless there's been some form of contact and Blue Flag's allowed him to go through. Or he said to Tom, go through and I'll tag on. I'm not entirely sure. But T Smith has been unleashed. He's got 3.5 seconds to Feber. So Feber's done a good job of making that gap as big as possible, whilst T Smith was struggling with a blue flag. Let's see how that gap decreases, or if that gap decreases, should I say. Bread has rage quit. It wouldn't be a week of GT Sport without Bread rage quitting. Unfortunate to see, but just wasn't enjoying the best of nights. SB White putting his teammate under some pressure as they head down towards turn 1. Again, I can't imagine Pete will make this too tough for SBY. Go down my inside teammate, off you go. Nicely done from Pete. Lost a lot of time in doing that. But still in P7, doing very, very well. Best I've seen Pete drive for a while, in fairness. Always good to see Peteman on the track. But now, there isn't much going on. I just have to wait for the final 6.5 minutes to unfold before I can go and get a drink of water, because I feel like I've been licking sandpaper. There's a lot of cars relatively close, but nothing too drastic. As Ross has yeah, just having a bit of fun, just sending it, why not? Fever, 4 seconds is the gap, with 5 laps to go, maybe 4 or 5 laps to go, so I can't see him losing nearly a second a lap to T Smith. Maybe a few tenths here or there, but I'd certainly put Fever in the best possible position to win this race. Once again, for the final time, please, please, please do like the stream for us. 9 people watching, only a few have done it. Just got to press the little thumbs up button. That's all it is. Much appreciated. And T Smith has binned it. I repeat, T Smith has binned it because he's shit. He's shit. What a wanker. Sorry, I'm impartial. Oh, T Smith has spun. Oh, drama. No one wants to see that. No, capitalise. Blue flag has got back past. Fever can now breathe. Blue flag can try and breathe. And T Smith is going to put some strain on them tyres, and he's got a Belgian behind who doesn't need a second invitation, as everyone's doing the same wiggle out of the final corner. We aren't in 5th. Can he do anything about Rom ahead? A rare mistake from Mr. T Smith. Was he trying too hard to close the gap? Or was his DLC expired? Well, SPY is all over the back of Pagani. He's going to send it down the inside. No love lost between these two on track. Three laps to go. SPY pushing Pagani through at this point. Needs to be careful he doesn't push too much. SPY is going to have the run. Pagani just about manages to get his car ahead. SPY are going to try and break all, go around the outside, maybe get a cut back. Let's have a good run, but again, it's difficult to do. Very, very difficult to do. Let's go and see what's happening behind here. Lennon under pressure from Junkie Sport. Lee in 10th, Ross down in 11th. Nobby in 12th. Fever has a 7.7 second gap, so it could be 2 wins out of 3 tonight for Fever. Driving very well indeed, he's in good form. He's got the antivirus on his car to block out all the aids that Tom's given him behind. Blue flag's going to be a good night's work from him as well. You know, obviously rage quit. Well, I say rage quitting, leaving the first race so we could win the second one. We all know what he's about. But a solid P2. He's probably been able to breathe a reasonable amount in this race. T Smith showing after all this time that he is a bottle. Pagani's off at the final corner. SPY is probably going to go through this time. I can't see there being much of a choice for Pagani but to yield position. These two down towards turn 1. Pagani's going to try maybe a cut back or to hold it around the outside of SPY, but Pagani looks like he's struggling on those tyres now. He's significantly worse than SPY's. He needs to be careful he doesn't lose out to Pete as well. And Lennon is close to the back of Rom. So Rom must have made a mistake, unless I've clocked it and just forgotten. Pagani and Sean have got past Rom. So Rom must have made a mistake somewhere. But we're going to be entering the final lap of the race. Oh, Lee Cole's off. Is he going to go round? No, he manages to keep it pinned. So Ross is going to gain time back on him, but nothing that I think is going to affect the race. Feber crosses the line to begin the final lap of the race, lap 29. It's been a brilliant display from him. Blue flag in P2. T-shit in P3. I've also been told off in this race for shouting he's shit when T Smith spun by my wonderful fiance. I have no regrets. Couple of close-ish battles on track, but I would like to stay with Feber here as he comes down the corkscrew for the final time. Nice and relaxed. Brilliant drive. It's best I've seen Feber drive for a long time. He's certainly finding his feet. He's flashing already. He knows what's about to happen. Penultimate corner. You enjoy it, buddy. You thoroughly deserve it, my friend. A blinding drive, a blinding man, and a blinding racer. Congratulations on your second win of the evening, Feber. Our race winner in the Group 3 at Laguna Seca. Couldn't have happened to a nicer man. Blue flag comes home to take P2. T-shit comes home and takes P3 after his spin. SPY's recovered well to get back up to P4. It wasn't looking too likely earlier on, but Pagani comes home and takes 5th. Won't be too pleased about that, but it could be a lot worse. Peakman, great result in P6. Rom just holds off Lennon to P7. Junkie Sport comes home in P9. Shame to see him spin. He was driving really well there. Lee's going to come home in P10. Ross is in the gravel at the final corner. Probably just going to wiggle his way home. He's binned it on the straight. Nobby comes home in 12th. I think he comes home in P13, and FTRL, just Mikey H, finishes last. And Ross donuts his way over the line. And job done. So there is your final results, pending any penalties. It didn't seem too bad, to be fair. But yeah, what a drive from that man tonight. Feber. Justin Fieber takes home a dirty double tonight, and a thoroughly deserved one at that. So congratulations, Fieber. Well done to you. Well done to Blue Flag on his win and his P2. Well done to T Smith as always, and the rest of the boys. Thank you all so much for watching. For those that are watching the stream back, please do like it for us, and hopefully I'll be able to be on track next week, but we won't hold our breath. Next week we have our Best of British race. It's our special week, which should be great fun. I would highly recommend you come and tune into that one, and until then, have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy the rest of your week. Let your hair down, and I will see you either next week in commentary, or hopefully you'll see me on track. So thank you all so much for watching. It was a real treat listening to you during races. Thank you, Fieber. To be fair, I was just shouting at people saying how rubbish they were, but listen, it's been fun. I've not done it for a while. I do miss doing my commentary. I wish I could do it more, but unfortunately we have limitations. We all do. But FTRL, as always, I love you. Thank you so much for everybody that watches, takes part. It means a lot to a lot of us. So good night to you all. Thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you again. Cheers.